Hello students. In our lesson on application of derivatives, today we are going to see about increasing and decreasing functions. Consider the function y is equal to fx. Now suppose we draw a graph of this function. As usual, the values x come on the x-axis and the values y, that is fx, come on the y-axis. Suppose the graph comes out as a curve like this, and consider a particular area of the curve, say falling between these 2 points, say A and B. Suppose we take any 2 points on this curve in this particular neighborhood, that is in this particular area. Okay, that is these 2 points. The x coordinates of these 2 points are say x1 and x2, and the y coordinates are fx1 and fx2. Now, one thing you remember, that on the x-axis, as we go from left to right, the values go on increasing. So we can see that x2 is greater than x1. What about the y-axis? On the y-axis, as we go from bottom to top, the values go on increasing. So as a result, from the position of fx1 and fx2, we find that fx2 is greater than fx1. Suppose we draw a tangent to this curve. Now from our previous lecture regarding tangent and normal, you will remember that slope of the tangent at a particular point on the curve is given by derivative of the curve. That is, if y is equal to fx is a function or it is an equation of a curve, then slope of the tangent is the derivative of the curve. That means f dash x becomes the slope of the tangent. Now in this case, since x2 is greater than x1 and also correspondingly fx2 is greater than fx1, we say that the slope of the tangent at x, that is f dash x, is greater than 0. That is, f dash x is positive. Remember, anything greater than 0, we say it is positive. So slope of the tangent at say point x is f dash x, and that f dash x is coming as positive. If all these three conditions are obeyed, then we say that the function is increasing. It's an increasing function. Now let us consider a situation like this also, whereby we get a curve like this, and again we consider the area coming between 2 points A and B. x1 and x2 are the x coordinates of any 2 points on this curve between A and B, the area AB, and the corresponding y coordinates are fx1 and fx2. What do we observe over here? Again, the first observation is same, that is x2 is greater than x1. Now observe the position of fx1 and fx2. We find that fx1 is at a higher position as compared to fx2. Thus we say that fx2 is less than fx1. Again, draw a tangent to this curve. Now this tangent, the slope of this tangent would be negative. So as a result, slope of the tangent at particular point, say x, is negative. So we write this way, that is f dash x is less than 0. Remember, slope of the tangent is given by f dash x. So f dash x is negative. See, if these conditions are seen in a particular curve, then we say that the given function is decreasing. So the function is a decreasing one. So in this way, graphically we can determine whether a function is increasing or decreasing. Now each time a function is given, you will agree with me that it is not possible to draw graphs and find out whether the function is increasing or decreasing. So here we are going to try out the method of derivatives to decide whether a function is increasing or decreasing. The first step when the function is given in this particular method is, for the function y is equal to fx, find f dash x, that is find dy by dx, or the derivative of the function. After finding the derivative, decide whether the derivative is positive, negative or 0, whether f dash x is positive, negative or 0. Now if f dash x is positive, that is, if f dash x is greater than 0, then we say that the function is strictly increasing. On the other hand, if f dash x is negative, that is, if f dash x is less than 0, then we say that the function is strictly decreasing. Remember, this year you will have strictly increasing and strictly decreasing functions only. So it is clear cut enough for you. Also keep in mind that we may face this situation, that is, every function that we have may not be only increasing or only decreasing. We may have a situation like this, say consider this curve you find that in this particular curve, some parts of the curve are increasing. This is the curve of a function. Say, some parts of the curve are increasing and the other parts are decreasing. So we may have particular values of the function between which it is increasing or other values between which it is decreasing. We call them as intervals. So we may face such sums also in this particular lesson, that is it. So we begin with exercise 4.2. The first category of questions is test whether the given functions are increasing or decreasing. The first question here, fx is x cube minus 6x square plus 12x minus 16. X is a real number. Now the procedure is same for all sums of this type. That is, for fx, we first find f dash x. That is the derivative of fx. You know that derivative of x cube is 3x square. The derivative of 6x square is 12x. And the derivative of 12x is 12. And what about 16? Being a constant, it becomes 0. Thus we find our f dash x. Now we simplify this f dash x by taking 3 common and then solving the quadratic equation which is given in the brackets there. By splitting the middle term like this, thus we find f dash x. So f dash x comes out to be 3 into x minus 2 the whole square. Now if the function is increasing, then f dash x would be positive always. And if it is decreasing, then it would be negative, less than 0 that is. So here we find that 3 is anyway a positive number. Now for all real numbers x, for all x belongs to R, the square of any real number is always positive. So x minus 2 the whole square is always going to be positive except when x is equal to 2. Think in your mind. Suppose x is 2, then the bracket would become x minus 2, that is 2 minus 2, which is 0. Now 0 we cannot consider as positive, isn't it? So for all x belongs to R, x minus 2 the whole square is always positive except when x is equal to 2. So thus f dash x is greater than 0, that is f dash x is positive for all x belongs to R except 2, except the number 2 that is there. So if this situation is obeyed, then we say that the function is an increasing function. Fx is an increasing function for all x belongs to R, for all real numbers x except 2. I hope you understood the sum that is there. Let us see the second sum here. Fx is given as x minus 1 upon x. X belongs to R and x is not equal to 0. So here we first find f dash x as usual. So when we find f dash x, the derivative of x is 1 and the derivative of 1 upon x is minus 1 upon x square. Thus we get f dash x as 1 plus 1 upon x square. That minus into minus becomes plus. Now for all real numbers, for any real number, the square of a real number is positive. So as long as x is a real number and x is not equal to 0, x square is always positive. What if x is equal to 0? We would get 1 upon x square, that is 1 upon 0, which is not defined. So as long as x is not equal to 0, x square is always positive. So that is a condition for an increasing function, isn't it? F dash x should be greater than 0. Then the function is said to be increasing. So as a result, we say that f dash x is greater than 0 for all real numbers x except x, which is not equal to 0. Thus, the function is an increasing function. Fx is an increasing function for all x belongs to R, x not equal to 0. The third sum, fx is equal to 7 upon x minus 3. X belongs to R, x is a real number and x is not equal to 0. Again, we find f dash of x over here. We find that f dash x comes out to be minus 7 upon x square. See, 7 is a constant and 7 upon x means 7 into 1 upon x. And the derivative of 1 upon x is minus 1 upon x square. So 7 upon x becomes minus 7 upon x square and 3 becomes 0. So f dash x comes out to be so. Now, minus 7 upon x square is always negative, isn't it? Because x square is positive as long as it is not equal to 0 or as long as x is not equal to 0, x square is positive, but there is a minus sign. 7 is anyway a real number, positive number, but minus 7 upon x square is going to be a negative number. So as a result, f dash x is less than 0 for all x belongs to R. For any real number x, except when x is 0. So we conclude that the function is a decreasing function because this is a definition for a decreasing function. So fx is a decreasing function for all x belongs to R, x not equal to 0. You can pause the video and observe it properly and understand the sum in a proper manner. Now these are two sums which are given to you as an assignment. The first sum is an increasing function. The second sum is a decreasing function. You can try it out for yourself and see if you are getting it properly over. Plus, needless to say, all these other sums are supposed to be written in your notebook. Notebook must be complete when you come to the class after the lockdown is over. Thus, the next category of questions, that is, find the values of x such that fx is an increasing function. Remember, a function is increasing if its derivative is positive. So, for fx, which is in this case 2x cube minus 15x square plus 36x plus 1, we find f dash x, which is 6x square minus 30x plus 36. 6 comes out as common. The bracket we get as a quadratic equation. We split the middle term and find the factors. So f dash x comes out as 6 into x minus 3 x plus 2. X minus 2 I mean. Then if fx is increasing, then f dash x is positive. We write it like this. F dash x is greater than 0. That means this function, that is 6 x minus 3 x minus 2 is positive, greater than 0. Take 6 on the RHS, it becomes 0 upon 6 which is 0. Thus we get x minus 3 x minus 2 greater than 0. Now note the next step. Suppose we have two numbers, say a and b. The product of a and b, that is ab, is positive. This implies that either a is positive and also b is positive, or a is negative and b is negative. You have learnt it, no? Plus into plus is plus and minus into minus is also plus. So thus we have two cases to consider over here. In the first case, both the brackets are positive. That is x minus 3 and x minus 2 both are greater than 0. So we get x greater than 3 and x greater than 2. Now suppose x is greater than 3. It means automatically that x is greater than 2. So we just have to write that x is greater than 3 over here. Thus we write this result like this. That is fx is increasing for x belonging to the open interval 3 to infinity. That means for all numbers greater than 3 up to infinity, fx is increasing. I hope you remember about open intervals, isn't it? The rounded bracket over here indicates that it's an open interval. That means it does not include 3 and infinity. 3 and infinity are not included in our discussion, but all the values coming between them are included over here. That is the meaning of the rounded bracket actually. Case 2, both are negative. That is x minus 3 and x minus 2 both are less than 0. So we get x less than 3 and also x less than 2. Again we can combine the results here because if x is less than 2, it means it is less than 3 anyway. So we write x less than 2 and we write this result like this. That is fx is increasing for all x belonging to minus infinity up to 2. Any number less than 2, for any number less than 2, fx is increasing. So we combine both the results and write it like this. That is fx is increasing for x belonging to 3 to infinity or x belonging to minus infinity to 2. The next question, fx is x square plus 2x minus 5. So f dash x comes out to be 2x plus 2 or 2 into x plus 1 by taking 2 common. Now again fx is increasing, so we say f dash x is greater than 0. That means 2 into x plus 1 is greater than 0 or x plus 1 is greater than 0. That means x is greater than minus 1. This we write it like this. That is fx is increasing for all values of x which are greater than minus 1. That is x belongs to the open interval minus 1 up to infinity. The third question can be done as an assignment by you in your notebook. It is similar to the first one. We go to the next question. Question 3. Find the values of x such that fx is a decreasing function. Now in this case, remember, a function is decreasing if its derivative is negative. I did the third question somehow initially. The first question and third question are very similar, so I just did the third question over here. So fx is 2x cube minus 15x square minus 84x minus 7. First find f dash x, which comes out as 6x square minus 30x minus 84. We can take 6 common and the bracket comes out as a quadratic equation. You can either solve the quadratic equation here itself and find the two factors, or you can solve it later on also. So we have fx as a decreasing function and therefore f dash of x is less than 0. Now therefore we write 6 into x square minus 5x minus 14, which is less than 0. We split the middle term for the quadratic equation. 6 comes on the RHS, it becomes 0 upon 6, which is 0, and we get the terms of the quadratic equation as x minus 7, x plus 2. Now again note down the next step over here. Suppose there are two numbers a and b and the product of a and b, that is a, b is negative. This implies that either a is greater than 0 and b is less than 0, that is a is positive and b is negative. Or on the other hand, a is negative and b is positive. You know, isn't it? That is plus into minus is minus. Similarly, minus into plus is also minus. So we consider both these cases over here. Thus, the first case, x minus 7 is positive and x plus 2 is negative. So we get x greater than 7 and x less than minus 2. But then there is no number which is less than minus 2 as well as greater than 7, isn't it? So hence, we conclude that this cannot be the case. We discard this case and take case 2, where x minus 7 is negative and x plus 2 is positive. That means x is less than 7 and x is also greater than minus 2. Yes, there are numbers which are greater than minus 2 but less than 7. So we conclude that x lies between minus 2 and 7 by writing it like this. And thus we say that fx is decreasing for x belonging to the open interval minus 2 up to 7. The next sum, fx is given as x raised to 4 minus 2x cube plus 1. Here f dash x comes out to be 4x cube minus 6x square. We take 2x square common. So in the bracket we get 2x minus 3. Now fx is decreasing, so f dash x is negative. That means 2x square into 2x minus 3 is negative. Again, for the product of two numbers to be negative, we consider two cases. In the first case, 2x square is positive and 2x minus 3 is negative. From this we get x square is greater than 0 and 2x less than 3. Now, from x square greater than 0, we conclude that x is not equal to 0 because the square of any real number except 0 is always positive. And similarly, from 2x less than 3, we get x less than 3 by 2. That means we say that x lies between minus infinity up to 3 by 2. X is a number which is less than 3 by 2, but x is not equal to 0. Now this can be written like this, that is x belongs to the open interval minus infinity up to 3 by 2, but x not equal to 0. In case 2, let us see if this is possible, that is 2x square is negative and 2x minus 3 is positive. Here we get x less than 0, x square less than 0 rather. But then, can the square of any real number be negative? No, isn't it? So this cannot be the case. Therefore, we discard case 2 and consider only the result of case 1. Thus we get the result of our sum that is there. Now the first sum is very similar to the third sum which I have done in the previous slide. You can observe the third sum and follow the exact same steps for the first sum and complete it as an assignment. So with this we complete exercise 4.2 of your textbook. I have done all possible sums and given you some sums as assignment. In the next lecture, we are going to study the sums which are based on increasing and decreasing functions which have come in miscellaneous exercise that is there. And thus you will become thorough in the concept. So keep practicing, keep healthy and safe.